Hey, Sports Lit. Hope you guys are doing well. You at this point are midweek, near the end of April here. Spring is getting better. The weather is warming up. Everything's looking up for us. Hopefully, you're feeling that way too. It's been a rough month, and hope you guys are feeling better. We just finished a book. We finished Olympic Dream. If you haven't finished it, you have some reading to do. There are 3 PDFs. They're all up on your screen right on the front homepage of your Schoology page. I took them out of the folders and put them all right there so you can find all your stuff easier. But we need to talk about this book. This is a great book. There's a lot to unpack here. You can talk about all sorts of things. You can talk about war. You can talk about refugees. We can keep it strictly on sports and talk about hopes and dreams and whether someone like this belongs in the Olympics or there's whatever. We can go all sorts of different angles. But that is going to be up to you. What I want to do today is focus on themes and characterization. These are two things that you probably learned about in ninth grade and definitely have talked about again and again. In fact, I know we talked about themes when we talked about One Shot at Forever. But this book is it's actually written like an eighth grade level. This is something that everyone should have been able to handle pretty easily. But because there's so much to talk about, it fits really well with their class. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more. But before we do, I want to talk about themes, what themes are and what characterization is. And so if you go to your Schoology page, you can see the books all right here. Got the whole thing. You can go through one at a time, read it. If you haven't finished your assignments, get your assignments done because you guys probably wrote discussion questions that would work really well as far as developing a theme. You have different things, actions that happen. If you go back through, you did 5 actions for each section of the book. You have 15 different things that happen that will help you understand a little bit about where to go with characterization and other things. But let's take a step back from all that and just go basics on themes. And so I've got notes on themes here that actually are going to be linked to your daily plan or your weekly plan here. You can see there's Wednesday, says review notes on themes. And so right here is what that's going to link to. I'm going to quick present it. And so just very, very quickly here for you. Themes. What are themes? Why is it not going forward? There we go. Oh boy. Too much animation. All right. So a theme at its heart is the message. It's the message of the story. It's the central idea or message that we get from anything, from a book, from a movie, from whatever. What is the message that we can learn? And typically it's about life, it's about humanity, it's about society. Uh, and it might be something that's like a moral that you can take with you, whatever. But there's a number of things that it's not, right? It's pretty easy to say it's the main idea of the story. But one thing that we really want to avoid is the traps that we tend to fall into, which is it is not a single word. It's never just one word. For example, in your notes here, it says never a word like love. What is it about love that the story teaches? If we're talking about Olympic Dream, we're talking about this. What do you want to talk about? There might be some topics here that you can go on. We can talk about war. We can talk about survival. We can talk about refugees and hopes and dreams. And all those topics are great, but none of them are a theme. What about survival can we learn from Samia? That's a theme. And so focus on a full message, not just one word. The other thing, a good theme never needs to mention a character or any plot points because you should be able to talk to anybody that's read this book or hasn't read this book, doesn't matter. Give them that theme that you pulled from the story, and they should be able to relate it to their life. And that's what we want, a relatable theme that anyone can understand. And so it shouldn't be unclear. It should never be so obvious like family is important. That's not a good theme, right? Yeah, her family's there for her in the story. Her aunt helps her out. Her family supports her, allows her to leave, allows her to chase her dream. But family is important is so vague and so not something you can really pin down. It's like everybody already knows that. And so we don't want something like that. We want something a little more specific, a little more thoughtful than just an obvious blah, right? Dig deep, look at all the things we saw the characters do, look at the things, the events that happened. What can we learn from her? There is not a single person walking around Burnsville High School that is a former Olympian and be like, oh, yeah, I can relate to that because when I was in the Olympics. No, that's not how it works, right? That's not a thing. It's just a matter of what life lessons we can learn. You don't have to have specific ties to the person. Don't confuse the theme with the topic, with the genre, with the subject. Those are all your one word things. Focus on the message. What is it we can learn? Put some examples here. This says, if you've seen The Dark Knight, this is a little bit of an older movie now, but it's a good one. A lot of people have seen it. Sometimes the sacrifice of one is better for the good of all. All right. And so, again, you may not have seen that movie, but you can understand that idea that one person doing what's best for everyone is better than doing something for themselves. Or if you've seen Ratatouille, where you come from and who you are shouldn't decide your lot or place in the world. Anybody can go anywhere and do anything. And this is like this whole big idea of dreaming. There's a topic with dreaming, but this is more of the message is like you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter where you came from. And so that's what we're looking for in themes. Now, in Olympic Dream, you can go a lot of different angles. You can go wherever you want. I'll leave that up to you. But we are going to have a worksheet that we do later that asks you to identify 3 different themes. This isn't for Wednesday. This is actually going to be for Thursday and Friday. I kind of know this video is going to go a little long, so I'm not going to do too much with that. So this is coming. You can start thinking about themes for the story, but you won't see this until Thursday. The other thing I want to talk about, characterization. What is characterization? Characterization is everything that makes up the character. How do we learn about Samia? We learn from the way she looks. In fact, right away in the beginning, they say when they're watching the race, they're like, she looks so skinny. She looks so small compared to the others. There's a reason for that. That's to tell us right away, you're not prepared for this. You're in way over your head. And she was. She got dusted in the race, wasn't even close. And that's the first introduction to her we see is her appearance. And then we also see the way she treats other people. She's pretty kind. The way other people treat her, not everybody's so nice. We see a lot of different stuff going on. And so we take all that into account because all of those things build that character for us. And so, what things do you see in Samia that help build who she is? That's characterization. And so, on Thursday, you're going to have this thing here. You're going to have themes you have to identify. You're going to have characterization that you have to identify. And for each of these things, you're going to give me a physical trait. Why do you think this is a thing, or a characteristic, or an attribute, something about her? Why do you believe she has this quality? Maybe you want to say she's friendly. Why do you believe she's friendly? What do you have from the book to support it? So you're going to have to go through the PDFs and find evidence to your claims. And you're going to have 5 different things of characterization. You're going to have 3 different themes. And again, you're going to look for evidence in the story to support your theme. And then you're going to take that theme. How can it be applied to someone living in Burnsville? How can someone relate? Someone that's never been to the Olympics, someone that's not a refugee of war, someone that's not whatever. And how can they apply her story to their life? How can they apply a message from her story to their life? That's your goal. That's going to be your goal for Thursday, Friday. Now, I really want to make sure that people watch this video because I have a sneaking suspicion that not everybody's been watching my videos. So I'm going to throw a question in this video that you have to answer for Wednesday's assignment. You won't find that question anywhere else. In fact, you'll see the discussion page say, answer the question in the video. This is that question. Knowing themes, knowing sports. What is a theme, a message you can take from sports and apply to another part of your life? There's a bunch of them, right? We kind of talked about this the very first day of class. But what is a theme you can take from sports and apply to your life? Give me the theme, give me an explanation, and you'll get full credit for Wednesday's assignment. All right, Thursday, Friday, look for this guy, Olympic Dream, themes and characterization. If you're ready to respond to the entire story, use some examples. So go back over those PDFs. Be ready. Next week, we're going to take this story of Samia, and you're going to see, as you've already seen, She's not always treated well, in part because she's a female. And you might not believe this, but females don't always get treated the same as male athletes. Weird. Even in today's world, like all progressive and everything, there's a lot of examples of this still being very, very true. And so we're going to research some female athletes that have overcome some incredible odds and done some things. That's next week. Right now, you guys worry about understanding the theme, characterization, and then applying it to the story, and we'll move forward from there. But again, find that discussion question I put in this video, answer it for your assignment on Wednesday, and I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys are having a good week.